Welcome into your Frogs Today post-game show live from the Moncrief Club here in the south end zone of the Amon G. Carter Stadium. I'm your host, Jules Conti. What a game for the Horned Frogs tonight as they take the victory with a final of 35-21, improving their conference record to 1-1. And emotions were definitely high. After starting the game 14-0, Boulder up, TCU returned with 21 unanswered points. Our defense having some critical takeaways, multiple guys with multiple tackles, 10 plus for each of them, sacks, interceptions, and the icing on the cake is an ending touchdown with 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter by Eric McAllister. After a quick word from our sponsor, Texacoin, we're going to be joined by head coach Sonny Dykes, Chase Curtis, Josh Hoover, Marcus Steele, and Bud Clark. Stay with us.
Keeping score of your finances but missed the Bitcoin wagon? There's a second chance called Texacoin. Score big at texacoin.org.
Welcome back to your Frogs Today post-game show. I'm your host, Jules Conti, now joined by head coach Sonny Dykes. Coach, 35-21, what an emotional roller coaster. Can you just tell me about tonight's game?
Yeah, it was kind of exactly opposite of last week. Arizona State, we got off to such a good start and didn't finish the way we wanted to tonight. We started slow, and the guys hung in there, and we just kept competing. Had to overcome some adversity. A lot of bad things happened during the course of the game. But you got to credit our players. They just fought through it. They kept their head down. They stayed into it, and made plays down the stretch. And that's what great teams do: is they find ways to overcome and win when you don't play your best. And you got to give Colorado a lot of credit. They really played really hard. They made plays. I was impressed with their football team and how hard they played, and but we were able to make enough plays to win the football game.
Talking about your players on every side of the ball, there were some very critical moments, but I want to speak about Kavorian Barnes, who led the team with 48 rushing yards, and Eric McAllister, who led the team with 65 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Wow, how critical was it to have them back for conference play after not having them last week?
Yeah, having those two guys was huge. I mean, Kavorian's a guy that can get yards for us, when he needs to. And thought he ran hard today. You could tell there was a little bit of rust, but thought he really performed well. He had to tough through it. Eric had to do the same thing. Just proud of those guys. They just want to win. They want to help their team win. Unselfish, want to do whatever they can. And obviously they're 2 big pieces for us offensively. And so really proud of them and their effort and what they mean to this team.
And on the defensive side, you saw some critical stops, 3rd and 4th down. Nnamdi Obiazor specifically having a very critical sack on the 3rd. He had an interception on the 3rd to keep him from scoring.
Yeah.
His play in the defense as a whole.
Yeah, no, I thought so. I mean, look, we got the 4 turnovers. We had the 3 interceptions, and they got the turnover on the punt, which was obviously a really critical play in the game. But, I think Nnamdi's interception at the end of the first half, to me was one of the most important plays. That was a tip ball. He did a great job stepping in there and making a play and almost ran that thing back for a touchdown. And so those were big. Obviously, Jamel had his, Bud had his. Those turnovers were critical in this game. It was just a hard-fought game, and it was going to boil down to which team, took care of the ball the best. Fortunately, we didn't turn it over, and we got 4 from them.
Going back to that special teams play by Chase Curtis, your special teams really helped you guys with fielding position as a whole tonight.
Yeah, I thought we punted the ball better. We had the bad series. Lafayette scored the touchdown and spiked the ball and had to kick off from the 20, and then we kick it out of bounds and gave them the ball at the 50. That's a critical mistake. We had to overcome that, but thought we punted the ball well, thought we covered kicks well. That was going to be a big part of this game, is our ability to cover kicks, and those guys hustled down. I thought we kicked off, for the most part pretty well. And so missed a field goal early. We got to get some things corrected. We're still not there yet, but I thought we did some good things in the kicking game.
So Boulder was able to get the scoring started tonight. They went up 14-0, but you guys turned around and answered with 21 points. Well, your defense held them the entire time scoreless. What do you think was really that turning point when the guys kind of kicked into high gear and was like, we need to score touchdowns?
Yeah, we just got settled in. I think, we got settled in. We got on our heels a little bit early. Once we started moving the football, we got our defense off the field. We still let them convert too many 4th downs. I think they were 9 of 14 on 3rd down rather. And so we got to get better on 3rd down. But guys just played hard. I mean, they really did. They just fought. They played hard. We got stops in critical situations and found a way to win.
There are currently 4 Big 12 teams that are ranked in the top 25, coming off last week against Arizona and now being 1-1 in conference play. How critical was tonight's win?
Oh, every conference game's huge. I mean, at this stage of the season, a lot of these teams are going to knock each other off. And so there's going to be probably after next week, there only may only be 1 or 2 teams that are undefeated in the league. And so, yeah, I mean, look, we want our goal is to be in the Big 12 championship game at the end of the year. And so any conference win's huge, especially when you lose your first game. You got to get on a winning streak, and it's a good way to start tonight.
Well, thank you, Coach, for joining me. As always, congratulations on the win. We'll be with you guys next week as you take on K-State. So good luck.
Yeah, thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Joined by Chase Curtis. Let's start with the obvious. That final play on special teams where you got the ball back for the Frogs. Can you just talk to me about what was going through your head when you landed on top of that ball?
Man, Ethan Crawl's been punted it good all night, and I watched it in the air and I saw it coming down, and they weren't getting out of the way when it hit the guy. I mean, I just did my job. I didn't do anything special. I did what I'm supposed to do, and it was great.
We saw a lot of action from the tight ends tonight. You, DJ Rogers, Kaiue. How close is that tight end group? You guys seem to really bond out there on the field. We see the connection.
Yeah, we're a really close group. I've been here with Loff and DJ for multiple years now, and we just got joined by KP and Mason. Coming to the facility every day it's so fun for me because I get to go to work with so many great people. And our Coach Mitch, he's like an older brother to me. I'm closer in him in age than I am to Mason, but it's been a great relationship. I love the tight end room, and it's been really cool to see all of us have success.
Speaking about the amount of relationships that you have, the bond between all the players, there were 15 offensive players that touched the ball tonight and made crucial plays for you guys. What does that do for your game plan?
It's just Coach Prowls has a really good offense and gets everybody involved, and that shows how much depth we have and how much trust we have in so many people on this team. And every time I'm out there, I'll look out, I'll see somebody I haven't seen all game, but I've got the same amount of trust in every single person, so it's really cool.
Talking about trust, all of the scoring in this game happened in the second and the fourth quarters, and your biggest plays for the offense in general ended up being at the very end of both of those quarters to kind of seal the deal for you guys. What was it that kind of got that momentum going, or what kickstarts you in those moments when you know that these touchdowns are crucial?
Yeah, we just didn't need to panic. We didn't start out good. Things weren't going our way, but like I said, we've got a lot of good players, and we can make plays when our number's called, and we just didn't need to panic and just do what we do, and it all worked out.
You guys ended up going 4 for 5 in the red zone, tonight. How important is it to take advantage of that space?
I mean, when you get in the red zone, you gotta take advantage of it. Like we said, every game in the Big 12, there's a whole bunch of good teams. Every game's going to be a battle. So if you don't take advantage in the red zone, you're not gonna be happy with the result. We've been really good in the red zone this year, and we're going to continue to be that way.
You guys are now in the midst of your Big 12 play. It doesn't stop now. You're back on the road again to face K-State. What do you take with you from each game, going back to ASU and now Colorado, into this next one to make sure you can keep this momentum going?
Just 1% every day. Just get better every single day when you come to the facility. Like, work on whatever you know you're struggling in, and just each game have a why, have a reason. Kansas State embarrassed us in the Big 12 championship, and they embarrassed us the next year. So a lot of the people that have been on the staff and have been playing for the last couple of years, we're really excited to go out there and, get back at them.
So you're ready.
Yeah, very ready.
And we're excited too. Congratulations on the win tonight. We'll be with you guys next week as well. So good luck.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
On the other side of this break, we'll be with more players. Welcome back to your Frogs Today post-game show. I am now joined by quarterback Josh Hoover. Josh, you got the scoring started for the Frogs, and it was not a passing touchdown, but it was with your feet. A 1-yard tush push, maybe, into the end zone. But how did that moment get the momentum started for the Horned Frogs?
Yeah, I just got us in the end zone. I mean, all we needed to do was score. We knew once we scored, we'd get rolling, and that's what happened. We kind of caught some momentum in the second quarter and scored another touchdown after that. And we knew we just needed to come out and play a solid second half. We'd take care of business, and that's what we did. So I'm proud of our guys for never wavering, never panicking. We were down 14-0, but we all knew that if we continue to play our game and execute at a high level, we're going to have a chance to win it, and that's what happened.
I want to stick to you running to the ball just for a little bit longer. You have been very active this year, just as a whole, picking up first downs, making some of those critical plays that really push you guys forward in the momentum of your play. Can you talk about your game as a whole and how you've seen a difference when you've been really charging and running that ball more?
Yeah, I mean, my mentality is I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. If I got to tuck it and run and go dive for first downs or try and jump over people unsuccessfully, then that's what I'll do, So whatever it takes to win, and that's my mentality. And I'll do whatever it takes for our guys. I love this team, love these guys, and it's all about them.
You had 15 offensive players touch the ball tonight. How important is that for your game plan going into each week? You guys have become such a powerhouse offensively because of it.
Yeah, we just got a lot of guys who can make plays. I got to give credit to Coach Browse and our offensive staff for finding ways to get guys the ball. We have a lot of talented guys that do different things well, and they've done a great job of finding out, how to get them the ball and, I guess exploit their good traits, I guess. So proud of our offense, proud of Coach Browse, love him to death, love our offensive staff, and they've done a great job. And we know we got a long road ahead of us, and it's always good to get someone under the belt, though.
Two guys I want to talk about specifically, Kevorian Barnes and Eric McAllister, who were not seen last weekend against ASU in your first conference game. Tonight, both led in their positions. Eric adding 2 touchdowns to the board as well. How important was it to have them back for tonight's game against Colorado?
It was huge. I mean, they're both just playmakers. They're both great players. Eric's, I said it, he's a winner. I mean, that's what he does. He's going to win, and he's going to make plays in critical moments. And we've got a roster full of guys that are like that. And so I'm so appreciative to have those guys. Can't say enough about our offensive line, the way they played. They gave me a chances all night to make plays and get it to our receivers. And that's the hardest position in the world is playing offensive line. They get no credit, and I want to give them the credit for sure. So.
Speaking of, how do you feel about the response of your team as a whole coming off of last weekend and going into tonight, playing in the Carter for a conference game, a blackout, and against Sanders Boulder Buffaloes?
Right. Yeah, I mean, last week was a tough one. It was definitely hard. We lost in the last minute. Similar situations tonight, and I'm proud of our team for bouncing back. It's never easy when you go lose on the road, a close game you felt like you should have won, especially for me. I made a mistake at the end of the game, and that's not who I am, and I had to put it behind me and move on to the next, and that's what we did tonight. We took care of the ball on offense. We made plays, and when we got back in those critical moments of the fourth quarter, we were successful this time. We made the plays, so just proud of our team for just the resiliency we have and just who we are as people, and just love these guys to death.
Speaking of put it behind you and move on to the next, we talk a lot about how quickly you guys move on to the next game, but you're on the road again against Kansas State. I was talking to Chase Curtis a little bit earlier, and he was saying that you're already going into it with a chip on your shoulder because of that Big 12 championship game a few years back and then last season as well. So how do you guys prepare for a game like that, taking what you've learned from the first 2 conference matchups of this season?
Yeah, Kansas State's always a good team. It's never easy to go to Manhattan and get a win. And historically, they're a really, really good program. They've got great players, great coaches. They've got a great culture. And, they're a really, really solid team. So we're going to have to go over to Manhattan and play our best football. That's for sure. Take care of the ball on offense, make the plays we need to make, and then just play with an edge. And, like Chase said, we all got a chip on our shoulder about this one. And I got a chip on my shoulder about every single one of them. But this one means a lot to us. And we're definitely going to do everything we can to prepare ourselves to go play our best football, and couldn't be more excited about going on the road over there.
Awesome. And we're excited for you. Frogs Day will be on location as always, but good luck next week and congratulations on this win.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Go Frogs. Welcome back. I am now joined by Marcus Gill. Marcus, how important is the play up front for you guys been in these past few games?
We just been together as a D-line, just playing ball together. It's a big emphasis to stop the run, and I feel like we've been doing great at it. Getting after the quarterback, just building that confidence in the front so that that nobody can really mess with us. So, just getting that confidence and rolling game to game.
With the way you guys have been turning over the ball and these takeaways and the interceptions that you've been seeing, what do you think your role is being up front? How important is that to allow the secondaries to kind of open up and get those takeaways behind you guys?
I mean, we always talk about rushing the cover. Like, our rush is going to help out our secondary. Getting the quarterback's face, he's going to throw a couple bad balls, and he's going to be able DBs to get under it, maybe puts too much air on it, straight lines it. So just rushing and making sure that we affect the quarterback in some ways to make it easier for our defense.
So Boulder came out strong. They were leading at one point 14-0. And then you guys ended up returning. You held them scoreless for 21. What do you think was kind of that turning point that flipped things around for you guys?
I think we always just had the confidence. I think early it was just a couple of key things, just focus on our eyes, so just getting together and focus on the details, and then, big turnovers, bringing the energy back, and then late, just that interception late to help the offense get good field position and then go score, and then as soon as our offense started going rolling, then we know we got it.
Yeah. You guys had some crucial stops as well, 3rd and 4th downs there. Can you talk about kind of that game plan and what you guys practice and how you kind of see that happening on the field when those big plays come to bat?
I mean, we always practice like personnel and stuff, but like in those situations, it's a mentality. Like, we're getting off the field 3-0, like red zone stuff. We had that mentality that like we're getting off the field, we can get the offensive ball. So just being confident in ourselves.
Yeah. So you guys went to Arizona last weekend. You ended up dropping your first Big 12 game of the season, but you returned the favor home in the Carter tonight, beating Colorado. Now you're 1-1. How do you take both of those games and transition that into next week when you're on the road again against Kansas?
I think like the Arizona State game left a bad taste in our mouths, so just learning from our mistakes and stuff like that. Like, we played a mobile quarterback, and then going into this game, we played another mobile quarterback, and we did a better job containing them. So just learning on our mistakes and getting better each week. So going into Manhattan, it's just the same thing, working on the details, getting better, building that chemistry with each other to believe in each other, and we can go out and do our job.
Well, congratulations on the win tonight. We'll be with you guys at K-State next week as well, so we're excited. Good luck, and thank you for joining me.
Sir, thank you for having me.
Go Frogs. Welcome back into your Frogs Day post-game show. I am now joined by Bud Clark. Bud, a very timely interception on your behalf tonight. Can you tell me about it?
Like when he came out, I really was just sitting there guarding my man. Then I'm like, if he throw it, like I'm about to jump up to knock it down. I jumped up and it hit my hand, and if he hit it, I'll catch it for sure.
And everyone should know that if it hits Bud's hands, you're in trouble.
Sweat glue.
It was an emotional game as well, for sure. There was a lot of up and downs. The defense at one point allowed Boulder to get ahead by 14 points, but then we turned around and scored 21 unanswered. You held them scoreless. Can you talk about what was really that turning point? Was it your interception?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I hope it was, but I feel like with the guys, I feel like we just fed off. Like, everybody felt the energy. We knew we weren't losing this game, no matter what, honestly. Yeah. So I feel like if we fed off each other, we was gonna win this game. Sure.
You also had some very critical plays, stopping them 3rd and 4th down, something for touchdowns on their behalf as well, stopping them from getting that next first down and continuing their drive, getting the ball back for your offense. Is this something that you guys kind of talk about in your game plan? Where do you see that transition over?
I feel like we on defense, I think is to get the ball back to offense. Every time if the ball is in offense hands, it's in good hands. So I feel like that's what we try to do, as long as it ain't their ball.
So you guys are hitting the road once again to continue Big 12 play. You're going to play K-State. I was talking to Chase Curtis earlier. He was saying that you guys already going into it with a chip on your shoulder after that Big 12 championship a few years ago, and then last year as well. I know I'm not trying to rile you up, but going into a game like that, now you're 1-1 in conference play. What is the mentality?
To go 1-0 every week. We 1-1 right now, but this week we'll be 1-0, and right now we're 1-0. So next week we're trying to go 1-0.
I like that.
That's the message.
Well, congratulations on your game today. We'll be with you in K-State next week as well, so good luck.
Thank you, sir.
This has been your Frogs Today post-game show live from the Moncrief Club here in the south end zone of the M&G Carter Stadium. A huge thank you to our sponsor, Texas Coin. Up next, the Frogs travel to the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas, to take on K-State at 2:30 on Saturday. Frogs Today will be on location as always, so if you don't already, make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms, which are Frogs Today, where we bring you live pre- and post-game shows as always. For now, this has been your Frogs Today post-game show. I'm your host, Jules Conti. We'll see you next Saturday. And also tune into State of the Frogs with head coach Sonny Dykes this Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And go Frogs.